Hello there, Super Relaxed Fantasy Club. I probably look a bit like a DJ at the moment, but name's. Whoops, hit stop by accident there when I was supposed to have hit pause. Never mind, still here. Anyway, yes, conventions do stuff there. Here, of course, because I am also a writer and originally urban fantasy. I am going to get back to. I'm going to get back to that. But the two existing publications in my name are the Grenshaw Manor Chronicles, which should still come up as its own Google, hopefully. The two books being Oblivion Storm and Primal Storm. Now, there's supposed to be a book 3, but there is a very long story with that, and hopefully maybe one day it'll see the light of day, but my current projects are taking me somewhat elsewhere. The elsewhere is not a bad thing. I'm having great fun. In fact, just before I put these headphones on, I've been spending time in Camelot. It's too early a draft for me to be bugging you with any of that stuff yet, but I am working. I am working on a series whereby Palamedes, the Saracen knight of some renown, turns up with a chunk of his siblings, and I will be doing a series through there from their side of things at front and centre. I'm having an awful lot of fun with it, especially as since I started the project, I kind of remembered there was another sibling to fit in, and it turns out is a vital cog in my wheel. But of course the one I know the least. So getting to know young Florin has been a fair bit of fun, and you know, I'll tell you this: we find these things out as we spend some time with them. Sit in scenes with various challenges, such as not exactly pushy parents, but certainly parents that have set them the kind of test that they will have questions about, which is certainly the scene I am working on right about now. I won't fill in too many of the details, but current working title for the chapter is just a sword. So I've been working my way through. Getting that from the scrabbled notes I had together before lockdown started into some better referable notes, and have managed to nail down a few chapters. If I'm terribly lucky, and I'm not getting my hopes up, because you know, lockdown work is like crawling through treacle at the moment, especially when you discovered a chunk of the things you're getting paid for aren't happening, which you think, hey, cool, free time for about a day, and then you're like, brain is currently worried about how I'm going to do this thing and this thing and this thing, and what happens when, and you know, the loop continues. So what's in fact happened is I have reacquainted myself with video games in quite a useful style, and been board gaming like the board gaming nerd that I am. Chief choices being Terraforming Mars and Quartermaster General. I've been playing quite a lot of other stuff, but yeah, it's a combination of what me and the housemate like, and also what we can manage within the constraints of modern technology these days, which isn't too bad at all. It's just a matter of it's just a matter of organisation, like anything else. So yeah, I mean, from that point of view, things have been pretty cool. I've had regular games and the like, so that's quite nice. Also, I keep support bears around. No sonic screwdriver today, but yeah, plenty of necessary measures to maintain morale. As you can see, 13th here never refuses a call for help, and so turned up a couple of months ago and has been doing a fantastic job, frankly. One other thing you might want to know about me is that I've been in recent times taking a few bits of my history quite seriously. Most of this came about, in fact, for the reasons you might think, because I had a bit of chatting going on about where I was with various novel ideas, which, I say, this last few months has been spent pleasantly untangling. And one of the places I in fact ended up was a chat in a bar at a con about some things I was doing in terms of performances and workshops for around Watertull and various other figures whose names are coming up a bit more now. And yes, one particular author, hi Anna, asked me why don't I just write the historical novel, and I'm like, thought about it, kind of what I wanted to do in the first place, and then jumped down a rather large rabbit hole. Needless to say, I have in that time I've been pursuing. In that time, I've had various academic pursuits go on. Have been in regular contact with the historian and curator of the RAF Museum, and also I've been volunteering for football clubs as a heritage ambassador. That that quiet sort of thing. That one might be getting on with. Anyway, sorry, leading neatly back to the books, and also back to a lockdown time. One of the things I managed to do again was collate some notes and make a start on a project I have there. It's all a bit circular, so I started with the idea, which was then gently encouraged, which then went to the historical research, which then went to a live action role playing event, because of course this is how things are. So I played a character based on a character idea that I'd had, mixed up a few things to make sure I would enjoy it. Had an absolute whale of a time. Came back, decided, okay, this is now going to the character I played is now going to be the basis of my lead for this World War II story, which I have to now go back and do various backstory bits for. And then a few weeks ago, I messaged some people from the LARP itself, great game called Wing and a Prayer, and asked if they wouldn't mind any of their characters potentially turning up when I finally get this thing done, because I need to fill things out. So very, very unlike most writing processes I've had, I had lots of people going, yes, please, on this, and giving me varied details of notes. I could have anything from a name. I could have anything from a name in a squadron to an entire detailed back history to work with. So I've now got this chunky folder full of support characters who may or may not appear at various times, and it's just such a rich thing to work with, as well as of course the existing history and some things I would like to tell, which I don't know if are happening at the moment. It seems a good time for it. Anyway, I think that neatly catches you up with a lot of what I'm doing. But I'll finish where I started, which was on urban fantasy, because I'm going to say book three's has got a bit of a hold on it. However, what I have been able to do is investigate another thing, which was how I would probably do a more traditional, but really not kind of wizard. So I'm going back a bit. I'm going across a bit. I'm starting another universe, and this is so far a short story because, again, originally a mate of mine volunteered on the an anthology plan for urban fantasy with a bit of a Manchester theme. So I am remembering my years of living up there as best I can. I'm I'm finding myself both inspired by bees and Attack the Block, and somewhere along the line I will have a short. Somewhere along the line I'm planning to get a short story together, which will hopefully give me a chance to play around with a bigger universe at some point. But yeah. I'm gonna be steering away from a few of the things I was doing elsewhere. So yeah, more wizards and a little bit more of a non-organizational side of things, which might sound like a contradiction in terms when it comes to wizards, but I know what I mean. I'll get back to this. Anyway, hopefully I will see you lot sometime again, and a little later down the line, who knows, maybe I'll even read maybe I'll even be able to read something for you. But if you wanted to hear a really old version of my first run at the Saracen Knights, I do have a SoundCloud page somewhere, which I will happily link to you. Anyway, take care of yourselves, stay safe. That was the main thing at the moment, because I want to see some of you all when I have something a lot more detailed to talk about as far as these things go. I have been Russell A. Smith, and you have been listening on Radio Lockdown. Ciao, ciao.